Swan Geese. Once upon a time, a couple had a daughter named Masha and a 2-year-old son, Vanya. One day, the mother and the father were going out for work. They asked Masha to look after herself and her little brother. Masha carefully listened to her parents, but as soon as they left, she seated her brother on the grass under the window and she ran out into the street. She started playing with her friends. Vanya was left alone. All of a sudden, a flock of magic swan geese came flying up. They swept up Vanya and carried him off on their wings towards the forest. After playing with her friends, Masha returned home. Vanya was not there. Scared, she started crying. She looked all around, but he was nowhere to be seen. Now, the swan geese were considered to be wicked birds who did much evil and stole little children. The search for Vanya begins. Masha saw a flock of geese flying towards the forest. She realized that they were magic swan geese and they took Vanya away. She decided to rescue Vanya and so stated the following swan geese. But soon they were out of sight. Masha came up to a large brick oven. She asked, "Please own, tell me where the swan geese have flown. Eat my rye pies and then I will tell you," replied the oven. To that, Masha replied, "I don't eat rye pies." The oven kept quiet and so Masha ran on. She now reached a tall apple tree. "Apple tree, tell me where the swan geese are flying to," she asked. "Eat my wild apple and I will tell you," answered the tree. "No, I won't. I eat apples with honey." She ran and came to a milky river with jelly banks. "Please, milky river, tell me where the swan geese are flying to," asked Masha. "Eat my jelly with milk and then only I will tell you," the river answered. Masha refused and ran away. Masha and Baba Yaga. Masha looked around but could not see anything. Finally, she came upon a little cottage with chicken legs. The cottage was spinning around. Inside the cottage sat Baba Yaga, the witch. Her face was wrinkled and covered with moles. On her shoulder, an owl was sitting. On a bench beside her, she saw Vanya sitting and playing with juicy apples. Quietly, she went in, grabbed Vanya in her arms and ran off. But the swan geese flew after the children. Masha and Vanya reached the milky river with the jelly banks. She requested the river to hide them. "Eat my jelly with milk and I will hide you," the river answered. Masha ate it and the river covered them with its banks. The swan geese missed them and flew away. Masha thanked the river and they started running. The children were relaxed and thought that they got away. Soon, they heard the sound of swan geese approaching. Masha asks for help. Luckily, they reached an apple tree that Masha had met earlier during the day. She begged the tree to save them. "Eat my wild apple and I will save you," the tree answered. She quickly chewed up an apple. The tree hid Masha and Vanya under its leafy branches. The swan geese could not see them and flew by. Masha picked up Vanya and started running. Soon, they again heard the sound of magic swan geese. Luckily, there was the oven right in front of her. "Please, oven, hide me," she begged. "Eat my rye pies and get inside," the oven answered. Masha gobbled up the rye pie and jumped into the oven with Vanya. The geese flew by. The children started running. and were just a little distance away from their home when they saw the swan geese approaching yet again. They rushed towards the home, went in, and closed the door. They were safe. Soon the parents came back home with gifts for both Masha and Vanya.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.